to wait a few seconds. There we go. We're recording now. Yes. Hello, good morning, good evening, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Dew. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these. Getting back into it, and it's going to be good because today I'm going to be playing with someone I haven't played with before, who I am very excited to play with. I hold you up. Who are you? Who are you playing? What's going on?
Hi everyone, good time zone, and this is Foster joining in, who also hasn't played in a hot minute.
It's Foster! It's the Foster! They have arrived! They have ascended! Or I've descended.
Tis I.
It is he. Oh yeah, who are you playing as, Foster?
Today I shall be playing as the one and only, the one and only Teal Tiger on more than one level.
Multiple levels. A multi-level tiger.
Multi-level of one and only.
Gosh. Yeah. Do you want to explain what's happening here, or do you want me to explain what's happening here?
I can start from here, and then we'll see what the different perspective comes in. But yeah, so the setting right now is that we are on one mansion on the outskirts of Toontown, and just the sun just set, and the evening just got started, and there is a queue of cars coming in and out right in front of the mansion with different people coming out and walking as on the red carpet as there is a party organized in this here mansion, which if you were to picture the mansion, you would have to imagine that this is what rich people think is classical architecture. Where if you were to look at it with scrutiny and actual historical know-how, you would tell that like no, this and this and this would not fit together. But like there is like columns and embellishments around the windows and that kind of stuff because that looks.
Yes, they've torn very pretty things, bits of architecture from all sorts of different places and said, yes, this is a one style, and doesn't it look so good? It doesn't. Any architectural person will look at this and shed a singular tear in, what have you done? How have you made this a hat? It should not be. It is, because you're rich. It's a rich person's
It
house.
shouldn't, but then again, the architect didn't want to object with all the money that he was thrown in his face. And within that crowd, the party organized by Bob Opoly, and to the listeners, no, I am not sorry.
I'm crying.
So to this here party, among the guests that arrives at the entrance is one toon that stands as per usual at about 5 feet, wearing a deep blue suit with golden lines on the lapel and similarly deep blue shirt, although the shirt is ornated with a bunch of small golden dots as to mimic the night sky.
So pretty.
And as the camera pans up and up along this figure, we have the head of Teal concealed behind a hastily crafted paper mask of a lion, because our audience will learn that this idiot rolled a natural one on using the disguise kit for
so
this.
fucking beautiful. It was excellent. God.
It is most excellent, and as he arrives with I will say that like anyone in that kind of outfit would be just kind of not even showing up, but he's just walking in. He walks in like he owns the place and like he is on the guest list because fake it till you make it.
Yeah, of course.
And he gets up to the guard at the entrance that's checking the invitation and hands his following, introducing himself as, "Good evening. You shall announce Lord Marston from Halloween Town." And he hands over a forged invitation, and I guess that for this I'm going to roll perception or investigation, I guess. It doesn't matter. I'm
Yeah. Well, it depends. Are you having
uh
a general look around, or are you looking for something in particular? I guess.
no, I'm going to have the guard roll
Fair enough.
because, like, he's checking. The guard is checking the
Oh
invitation,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
let's see how it goes.
Oh my god.
Please,
Oh my
dice
god.
person, Lord have mercy on us. So this is a flat luck roll.
Yes.
14. Okay, so the guard inspects the invitation, and the invitation does look authentic, but he is still suspicious of that one here person that showed up with this ridiculous outfit. And this is where I rolled deception for Teal at disadvantage because you rolled the freaking nut one on your outfits, idiot.
I imagine he hasn't even cut eye holes out or a mouth hole. It's just
No, he hasn't. Oh,
that's an 11.
hmm.
Ooh.
Ooh. 11. Hmm. 11. I think that 11 might be just like too short, I would say.
I mean, it's only very slightly above average.
Yeah, it's only slightly above average. Uh, it's only slightly above average, although the guard doesn't seem to notice the forgery of the invite, so I'm wondering how he would react.
Hmm. Well, I mean, if it looks authentic, I imagine because it's authentic, it's got like probably like a little stamp of approval.
Mm.
And Bob would put on all the invitations. Um, but maybe it's just something about demeanor. Also, you're wearing you have a piece of paper on your face, mate. Um,
Yeah.
let's call it how it is. You have a piece of paper on your face, and it's not a masquerade ball. Um, so I feel like the guard is probably gonna just look Teal up and down, and then slowly kind of turn their head over their shoulder whilst their eyes are still locked on the piece of paper that is Teal's face at the minute. Um, as if to call out for another guard that's probably taking other invitations because there are a lot of invites. There's a lot of people here. Bob throws big old shindigs, and having just one queue would be so irritating. So irritating. You can't keep
Yeah.
rich people waiting. That's just inhumane. How could you do such a
Yes.
thing to rich people? Um, as he does this, or as they do this, I should say.
Mm.
Oh, could you roll me a perception, please? Because
Oh boy, perception
mhm.
always. Actually, I think I can't remember if it was always like this or not, but
Teal.
God,
Okay.
Teal has paper on his face. He does not perceive.
Teal, buddy. Okay. You probably Teal,
No.
buddy. You're not gonna notice. Actually, I'm gonna try and roll. I'm gonna roll something for her. Where is your thing? I'm looking at a sheet. Give me a mo. It's been a hot minute since I've played this person. Oh no! Oh, okay, no.
Oh
I'm using
boy.
my luck die. I'm using my luck die and I'm
Yeah,
re-rolling that.
go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, that's better. Thank
Yeah,
you.
marginally.
So for everyone listening, I rolled something and it was an at one immediately. So that's one luck die of mine gone, and instead I've got a nice 22, which is much better. As one of your ears probably twitches as you hear the sound of heels coming up from behind you, um, and you feel something touch your shoulder, and a voice starts to speak. Say, "Oh, you must have met my friend here. Yes, Bob is expecting us. It would be it would be a great shame if you didn't let us in, quite frankly, because well, you see, terrible, terrible. This you see this, and person gestures at your face. It's a bit of an inside joke between Bob and us. It's let's just say it's a bit unorthodox, admittedly, but don't worry, Bob will understand when he sees. So if you wouldn't mind letting us both in, that would be fantastic. Um, and if you looking at the person that is holding onto your shoulder?
So as the person that put their hand on his shoulder
Mm-hmm.
did so, like they would have felt a slight jump, but the kind of jump where it's like you can tell that you startled the person, but also you can tell that they are trying to keep their composure.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Teal right now is not looking back; he's just acquiescing with whatever is being said.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it would be most shameful of you, especially because I suppose that you have relatives and friends. Of course, that would be most unfortunate if you were to have to find another job. The job
Oh,
market
Bob
is
would be
so.
so disappointed. And this person squeezes your shoulder and just pat, and this is where I roll this. Well, the persuasion. Does a 29 do it? So, Teal, you look aside, and this person is wearing a hooded cloak. You cannot, with a 9 in perception, you can't see much. It's a hooded cloak, it's deep, it's shadowed. You can't make out anything. But this person is about your height, and they're wearing brown leather gloves on their hands, and the cloak is. It covers up pretty much everything else. The only thing you can see is the brown leather glove on your shoulder and the deep parts of the. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, the hit rolled 29, and you see this guard immediately stands up straight and starts to sweat bullets because they don't want to lose their job. Bob, Bob does pay a bit better than most rich people, which isn't saying much, but it does say something. Um, so the guard probably just hurriedly like stamp your invitation with an approval mark, hand it back to you, and let us in.
So as as Till is let in, he will move away from the grip of the stranger as as soon as he can, but he stays within walking distance of that person. So he's not just like running away as he does so, but he just like frees himself.
Hmm, that's fair. That is very very fair. Um, well, this person lets you go, and
Mm.
as this person walks past, they turn to the guard, and you see the hood pop up and down and say, "My thanks to you, my friend, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening." Um, and yeah, they walk adjacent to you, at a distance where, at first glance, it would appear you two are not affiliated with each other. You're just
Mm.
walking near each other.
I I owe you my most respectful thanks for that small kerfuffle here at the entrance. I can't believe that those guards would be so uptight with protocol. I mean, come on, where are we?
You hear a little. Yes, no, the guards around here certainly don't. I found that their manners recently have gotten worse, and their pay has gotten higher. Oh dear, I don't exactly know what to do with them these days. And I feel we're kind of entering more of the past the entrance hall, and probably further in towards the main like dining area or
Yeah.
gathering area. It's getting louder anyhow. Um, and this person will continue saying, but I think we both know, well, I mean no offense, but I do have to ask, why exactly? And they gesture a hand over the hood, the darkness of their hood. and tilt their head tilts to the side.
Oh, well, you see, would be very, very, very unfortunate of me to not make an lasting impression on the guests. What's the worst thing than being just another background character in those grand soirees? At least that gun will not forget me.
I'm just gonna roll a couple things. Give me a moment. Firstly, I'm gonna roll an insight.
let me, yeah, I was about to say, let me roll deception.
Go ahead.
God. God, Teal back in full force with another nut one.
I love this. I love this man. I love this man immediately.
He's not allowed to have nice things.
He's not allowed to have nice things. No, no, no. So this figure looks at Teal.
As I think that, like, as he says that, there is like visible sweat on his face behind the mask.
The paper on his face just gets damper and damper, and you see it start to sweat through. Whatever drawings he's done, the lines and the colours are just starting to drain off. Gosh. So with a 20 on insight, what do you think my character could tell from yours?
Your character can tell that he's lying, and that he's definitely not wearing this just to show up, and that he definitely was trying to get in even though he wasn't meant to.
So
I mean, he rolled a 1 online. Like, you can read through him.
Yeah.
A 1 versus a 20.
So have you put your invitation away?
Yes. At
Yes.
this point, yes.
Dang. Okay, never mind. This person's just gonna nod, and they're just gonna reach out a hand very casually and take a glass of some form of liquid from a passing server, and you see it lifted up to the hood. Still can't see what's past the hood, but some of the liquid is gone once it's been lowered, and the figure swirls the liquid around the glass, and well, I'm not exactly sure what your business here is, Mr. Or Miss or Mix. Forgive me, I haven't even introduced ourselves. I suppose that would only be proper. You see a gloved hand held out towards you, and give me a moment. I'm trying to think of brain words.
Fair, fair.
I should have thought of something beforehand, but my brain was like, nah, you can make it up on the spot.
I used the name generator.
God damn. This person holds out their hand and they say, my name is Khajit Lamine. It's a pleasure to meet you. And you can, yeah. They're just holding out a hand for you to shake.
Oh, to shake, yeah, because I was about to say, like, otherwise, Till would have done the bow and kissing of fake kissing that
Nice.
is, but you know, like, since they are holding their hand obviously in the position of shaking, then he just holds it unshaken, like, as you may already have heard, with that very, very peculiar god. I am Lord Marston of Halloween Town, and as he says Halloween Town, he will flash, or at least like show a bit more obviously that on his right lapel of his suit there is a silvery brooch in the shape of a skull.
Ooh. Okay. Cool. Can I? I'm just gonna roll an investigation just to see. Oh wow, you've got no mods in that. Can they tell that's real? It's a 10. Sure, it's not real. It's
that sure does look real.
It's a nice silver skull on the brooch. This person nods. Could Teal make me a strength save, please?
Teal is officially dead.
I should probably make a contesting strength roll to this. I mean, you're not necessarily dead. You're a little dead. Teal, you feel the grip on your hand strengthen, and you feel, despite the fact this person is surprisingly strong, and they just kind of tug you very, very quickly out of the entryway. This probably is like a great grand hall with like balconies, like banquet tables laid out, all sorts of bits and bobs, kind of laid about for the rich people to mooch about, hang about, do what rich people do. Don't ask me what that is because I don't know. But they will take you over to a heavy drapery. And they will very, very quickly take your reach for the piece of paper on your face, and then quickly you're going to feel that be taken off and something else be put on your face.
There will be just a gasp from the tiger. Excuse me. What kind of manners are those?
I'm less worried about manners and I'm more worried about you getting caught at the minute, because quite frankly, that was an awful disguise. What on earth were you thinking? And whoever this person is, they seem to have intuited you don't belong here. And they're kind of, you get the impression they're glaring daggers, and they're just
I
oh, go ahead.
Can you remind me of their last name? Their last name that they give again?
Gosh, I forgot. I shall not lie. I've completely forgotten. I think it was like Lazette or something. Khajit Lazette.
Yeah, Khajit Lazette. And like Teal right now is just like huffing and puffing it. Dear Lazette, I will have you know that this is no manner to treat a fellow aristocrat. And why on earth would you accuse me of disguising myself to attend such a party? I will have you know that I was absolutely on the list of guests and I belong here as much as you do.
You're going to see a quick shake of the hood. Yes, I will agree that you certainly belong here as much as I do. However, if you call that... I don't know what you were doing. I don't understand tunes. I don't know what you think that thing on your face was going to do for you in here. But trust me, the whole... I will admit...
I was on schedule. I didn't have... I was on tight schedule.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I was on a tight schedule.
So you are ill-prepared. Okay, fine. I don't know what your ill-preparedness here is all about or what you're doing here. And quite frankly, I don't give that much of a damn. But if you're here for whatever reason, keep that. And you hear something knocking on your face. Whatever the hell this person's put on your face makes a hollow, wooden, echoing noise. Whatever the reason it is that you're here, keep that on. Because, quite frankly, I don't think you are going to survive the rest of the evening that's sogging through this. And she now holds up a soggy piece of paper.
Teal just snatched back a piece of paper. Well, I would thank you if your manners were more appropriate for the occasion. And
I think you and I both know that you're not of any higher station. I saw how you acted out there. You are not someone of higher station. I know people of higher station. I've been people of higher station.
You real kind person, because don't think I didn't caught up on that comment on tunes. You real kind person will have to know that you don't know anything about me, and I shall keep it that way. Because you definitely seem like more trouble than it's worth.
I'm trouble. At this point, they kind of stop because their voices start to get raised, and they look around, and then they kind of look around, look for a curtain, and they just kind of swiftly pull the curtain over so you're covered. And they turn back to you and say, "You think I'm trouble? You're the one kind to sneak into a party with an admittedly very good forgery forgery. I do have to admit, that was a very nice forgery. That was very, very good, very well done. But I'm not the one sneaking into a party with an ill-prepared disguise. And I don't know what exactly you're planning here, but you better not get in my way. Do you understand me?
In your way, is that so? Well, I know only a specific kind of people that talk about getting in someone's way in parties and can tell forgeries.
Well, I did say we were had equal right to be here as each other. So, whatever it is you do with your evening, I hope it's very nice. But I'm on a bit of a tight schedule myself, you see. So you have fun doing whatever it is you're doing, and just keep out of my way, all right? And
Oh, I shall, and I will.
uh, you see the hand still holding the glass, raises a little mocking toast to you, lifts it back up under the hood, and by the time they put it back down on the floor, it's empty. The curtain's been drawn back, and this person's just kind of walked off into the ground.
If Teal had a tail, his tail would be puffed up right now.
Do you want to roll me
From
another
being
perception
insulted.
with advantage?
Ooh, with advantage. How very kind of you. Like
There's a
that's
reason
the
you have
thing. Like,
advantage.
Teal is supposed to. Okay, now.
Okay.
God.
So with that perception, with a 16, as this person dragged you over towards the window and pulled the curtains over, they kind of pulled you over towards like a big open bay window that lets a lot of the light in. It's decent. There's no overcast light. There's no overcast clouds. It's pretty light outside, and you've got just the slightest hint of something underneath the cloak. It kind of looked like orange and a slight sliver of black. And you thought you could see something kind of almost like two bumps on the top of the head. You couldn't quite make out what those were, but there were two bumps on the top of the head. Before this person very swiftly, as they moved away from you, very swiftly moved away.
Teal is looking suspiciously at that person because he definitely prefers to play solo, and he hasn't really had to deal with competition on the same evenings. So he's giving a glare, but he also has his own plan, and I think that he will just follow them at a distance, but just far enough that he can still keep track of them without being right behind their back.
Okay, cool. Do you want to roll me a stealth?
Yes, finally.
Okay.
The one thing. Hold on, let me check because I think if I'm yes.
Dang.
Yeah.
Nice. So that was your stealth, wasn't it?
Yes.
Cool. Let me just check. Yeah, cool. So you see, it seems like this person doesn't notice you following them. Which is pretty good because it is surprisingly hard to find this person, despite the fact that they're the only one here, wearing a hood,
A big cloak, yeah.
a big billowy cloak. They seem to just kind of fade into the crowd and then out of the crowd, but you do keep a sharp eye on them, and you see them swiftly turn out of the dining hall and make their way down another corridor, which kind of looks like a service way for servants and such, not somewhere that partygoers would be going. But yeah, neither of you really draw any notice.
Hmm.
Let me just roll another thing.
Do roll another thing. Oh.
I mean, if you want, you can roll an intelligence check, because you're following this person through. Yeah, okay, that's fine. they slip through the door with ease. And I presume you're following after them.
Yeah.
But you
Okay,
follow-
I will roll an intelligence check.
Yeah, 14. I would say 14 is enough. You kind of remember from before you entered this building, where your mark was. You took some detailed notes. Because sometimes things go right for you, but you do study, you do your job, and you do your job well, and you do your work. And you realize that some of these are probably some of the floor plans and stuff that you were looking at. This corridor seems to be heading towards a particular storage slash showcase room, where you know certain things are being kept. One of which potentially your target could be in at the minute.
Oh, Teal does not like that at all. I'm. Let me just check something real quick. How far are they in relation to Teal right now?
How far? Geez, I guess it depends how long Teal took to follow after them.
Yeah.
I would say like 10, 15 feet. If you're trying to be stealthy, like.
Yeah.
Or maybe like 20 feet at the most.
20 feet is fine. So you said this is like a service area.
Yeah, this is like a back
right?
door area. Yeah. Like it's a service hall. There's not many fancy decorations. There's like a couple of other doors that like lead to other rooms or you know.
Oh, other doors, you say. Is there a door that's ahead of them? That's like
Ahead of
on
them.
the like they're walking down the hall. Is there like a door on the side of the hall in ahead of where they're going?
Oh yeah.
Teal will use Mage Hand,
Oh,
which, as an arcane trickster, is invisible, and just open the door in their face.
God! They get to the door. They're about to open the damn door. So I'm gonna have to roll a dex save then, aren't I? Cool.
Yeah.
What the hell would that be against?
I don't know. Against the door.
That's a 22.
Okay, I do think that with a 22 they do narrowly avoid it, but like, but Khajit Lamine will definitely notice that the door opened, but there is no one behind the door to open it. As they swiftly move out of the way, but when they move out of the way, there is no one behind the door.
Cool perception time, because they don't trust like that. They don't trust like that at all. 15. Nah, that doesn't make it. Damn. Because you rolled an 18. Yeah, that doesn't make it.
Yeah.
I'll probably say you like duck into an alcove that's nearby. As they look around swiftly. Trying to see who the hell did that. They can't see anyone. But as you hide away and probably look back, just to see if they're still looking, they're gone. They've poofed away.
They're gone. They're poofed away.
Yes.
Oh boy. Oh, I have some. I have some options.
I mean, you can see the edge of a cloak kind of just float past the door, like just the smidgen end of a cloak.
Yeah, but that's not. He has another plan. So this is a service area. So that means that like servants and such are going to walk in and out like around the place.
Oh yeah, you can kind of hear from behind the doors there are actually servants around talking, either like prepping meals or washing things or just doing the little background chores.
Okay, let's roll a d10 and pull something out of the hammer space.
Let's go.
3. Okay, so that makes it. Teal pulls out a simple grey wand.
Okay.
That he flips in, aiming at the general direction of where that person was. And I'm going to roll a d20 to see how many pigeon I summon.
What? How many what? Hello?
15.
What? Foster, explain.
15 pigeons are being summoned on the spot previously occupied by the cloaked figure inside this service hall.
You're summoning pigeons.
Teal has the wand of pigeon summoning.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's brilliant. Teal, you've summoned 15 pigeons into this hallway.
And he darts away back into the main hall.
I presume you're dashing because rogue.
Yes.
As you dash away and you quickly slam the door back into the main hall, you hear some people come out and just scream, "Why are there pigeons? Who let the pigeons out? Why are there pigeons in here? Why are they in the rookery? They're not in the rookery because that's where we keep the crows. No, that's where we keep the ravens. Oh, would you just someone move the pigeons?" And you just hear like a cacophony of noises. Congratulations, you've successfully sealed off that exit route. For yourself and for the person. Cool. Okay. So, what the hell are you going to do now? Because you've sealed off a route to follow this person. You know from what you remember that does lead into a storage room and a showcase room, which you now probably have to take a different route to get to.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Can Teal figure out? I mean, I guess he could roll intelligence for this, but can he figure out another route?
Yes.
To the showcase room.
Absolutely.
Let me see. Okay, please +3 serve me well.
Roll again because you did your research. I'm giving you rolling again, please.
If this is lower.
Go on.
Okay. No. Woo! A whopping 12.
A whopping 12. It's an improvement. We take it. We take it and we run with it, Foster.
We do.
So it probably takes you a bit of time. You can definitely remember there is a route to the showcase room because obviously there has to be for the guests to go and see it.
As he's like thinking about this, he's just like by the buffet, munching on things as he's like thinking.
You're just picking up things and munching on them?
Yeah. Yes. As he's thinking.
Cool. As you're doing that, you are going to notice as you lift things up under the thing that's been put on your face, you might be maybe you glance around and see in a mirror. You realize what this person has put on your face. They've put on your face. It seems to be a mask, but specifically, it seems to be a bone white mask. That kind of looks like it's been carved in the shape of a deer. Don't know what that's about. But you sure are wearing that.
I do appreciate the craftsmanship. Stylish. I might use it for another opportunity or two.
Oh boy. Yeah, got that now. But yeah, with a 12, you definitely remember there is a public route, but it's a public route. You can't at the moment think of another way, simply because maybe you're thinking about what the hell are they after? Are they after the thing you're after? You kind of want to get there first.
Yeah. So because it is a public route, I'm assuming that is it closed off at the moment, and how far ahead is it closed off? Because like if it's a public route and like let's say that the show hasn't started yet, is it closed off at like the edge of the main dining room, or is it closed off right in front of the entrance with a tiny rope?
Well, it's more so that there's like two large double doors, and there is one of those red velvet ropes in front of it. Yeah. But I mean, if you look around, there are a few people milling around, but no one seems to be paying attention. So if you roll high enough, no one's gonna notice.
Spells.
Spell time. Whilst you're doing this, I should probably be making some rolls.
I mean, no, but I mean, you know, like if he rolls high enough, which, is a big if.
I believe in you. You can do it.
He can. I'm just trying to think about what he could do.
Whilst you're doing that, I'm going to roll some of my own.
10 He will. Oh, I know what he's going to do. Because he is by the buffet. So I'm assuming that, like, let's say that on the buffet there are like those big centerpieces that have a lot of food presented in a very neat way.
Mm-hmm.
He will cast 1 hour. Good. One. Yes. He will use prestidigitation on the big centerpiece to have it have sparks start to fly off as if it was meant to be a decoration, like surprise event of like, oh, this is like the fancy sparkly sparkles. And mainly to distract everyone's attention while he sneaks behind double doors.
Well, you sure have caught a lot of people's attention. Initially, there's like a shocking of fright as everyone kind of jumps away from this, but as they realise it's not actually doing any harm, more people start to flock around and go, "Ooh, this is certainly a nice little. Oh, what a wonderful surprise!" And everyone's just flocking around this centerpiece. And you probably see out the corner of your eye, Bob Nopoly is just kind of at first looked kind of not okay with this, but as everyone starts to compliment him on his wonderful, beautiful centerpiece, he's sufficiently distracted as well, just accepting all the compliments and schmoozing around.
Yes, and I will say that, like, because we get a glance at Bob Opoly from the perspective of Teal, and I will double down on the on the joke, and no one can stop me. Bob Opoly is a 4.5 foot tall, 5 foot tall if you count the top hat, European in with only black and white colors, and he has a mustache and a goatee because it's legally distinct, and he doesn't have a monocle but instead a couple of speckles.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. That's excellent. Bob Opoly.
And yes,
Beloved.
Bob Opoly. And in the meantime, Phil is just going to stealth away through the 2 double doors.
It's a 12. I mean, if you want, you can roll again.
I was about to say, I think that I did. I have advantage on this one. There we go.
That's a lot better.
That's better. 24, yes. Finally.
You are a ghost as you just click the door open and just ever so gently, ever so slowly slip yourself through the door, over the rope, and close it behind you with a quiet click. Congratulations! You're in the room you need to be in. No one else the wiser. You want to roll a perception?
Ooh, yes.
Because I will say, by the way, do you have dark vision?
Do toons have dark vision, actually? I don't know.
Toons don't innately have dark vision.
Yeah, I was about to say, no, he doesn't have dark vision.
Cool. Roll
so that's going to be
then.
fun. Yeah.
This is a dark room, and there's not much to see.
Okay, we're off to a great start. Oh.
Yeah.
I'll take it 10.
Cool, 10. That's pretty average. Okay, so there isn't much you can actually make out. You can see there are some lights on above the items in here, and there are quite a few different items in here. There's like a sword which seems to glow a faint green color, with some strange tassels hanging off the end of it. There's a strange ball that seems to have lots of bumps over it, like really big bumps. It just kind of floating in the middle of a pedestal. All of these have like glass domes and stuff over it. Then there's just lots of different strange magical objects. It seems. You assume they're magical at least. Maybe they're just pretty things. But other than that, you don't really see anything else, which is kind of weird because you know the person came in here.
Teal is staying next to the walls with his back precisely back against the wall so that he doesn't get at his jumped on too easily.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any candle in the room?
Candles? With a 10, you probably have to sidle along the wall to try and find any. But there's probably a light switch in here somewhere, you presume. I mean, there's probably going to be one as you open the door. I'm not going to lie to you. If you think about it, most people put light switches when they first open the door.
Yeah, you would think about it, but does still think about it. What else should I do? One action.
Well, while we're doing that, right. Me looking at all of the feats and things I can potentially do here. That's not attack roll. Right, okay. Cool. Let's roll one of these because I think that is still a flat 7, isn't it? Yeah. What's your passive perception?
14.
Yeah, you hear this. One of your ears probably twitches as you do hear something like the softest whisper of cloth being moved, but you can't see where it's coming from. You can hear something in this room. Something in this room is making a noise.
I know you said that we both belong here the same way, but this is encroaching, I would argue.
The noise stops, and a couple of seconds pass before you hear a. Well, it wouldn't be encroaching on my part. I am simply doing what I'm doing what I do best. And you being here makes things far more complicated than they need to be.
The sentiment is mutual.
Look, I don't suppose that we could just, I don't know, take our things and go on our merry way? Well, that is if we're not after the same object. Then it'll be a very different discussion you and I will need to be having. And you do hear footsteps moving now.
Oh.
Seemingly towards you.
He will stand his ground. He doesn't move away or try to bolt or try to avoid anything. Sounds, as I previously said, you don't know anything about me. Even if we were to be after the same thing, luck might have it that we may not want it for the same reasons.
As you hear, are you still up against the wall, by the way?
Yes.
Cool.
He's standing up, but he's still standing up with his back against the wall. He's not that stupid.
Clever boy. You hear the footsteps that were coming towards you move past you, towards the door, and you hear the sound of something locking. And then you hear a little well, perhaps if you tell me what you're after, you and I can come to some sort of compromise,
Okay, I'm going to roll an insight to see if Teal can tell if this is um a female voice or not. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure he could figure it out, but still, because I have like one very specific line, but he needs to know. Yeah, okay. So, well,
with a yeah.
yeah.
For the
No, go on.
17, you can definitely identify that it's a feminine toned voice.
Yes.
However, with the 17, I'll give you a bit extra. You kind of think back a bit on the name, Khajit, and you realize that name kind of reminds you of a specific race of people that tend to use those sorts of names. It's not a it was once like a popular name for this race of people, but it's fallen out of fashion in recent years. But you definitely recognize. Come on, brain. I knew this was gonna happen. I'm gonna forget. Damn it. I forgot the race. Gosh damn you, brain.
Tabaxi.
That's the one. Thank you. I mix up Khajiit and Tabaxi so much, like in Skyrim. But yes, you realise that this is a Tabaxan name that this person is using.
Okay. So yeah. So to the question of like her asking him what he wants, he to this replies, "Well, isn't the use of having to have ladies go first?"
There's a pause. You assume that I'm a lady? Well, I suppose I can't particularly blame you. It's been a rather exhausting evening, and I would rather not keep up the charade whilst I'm here. I don't plan on going back out to that shindig, so hopefully this can go smoothly for both of us. What exactly are you after, And you hear something tink 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 tinking against a case near you.
Interesting how I would be always the one to have to give you the information, and not the other way around. What gives?
Well, you haven't asked. And you hear another tink 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 from a glass case just slightly further away from you. And you can hear the footsteps. They seem to be making a circuit of the room.
Well then, if I may inquire of what is it that such a person such as you would be doing around Toons, and why here specifically in this room in this here place?
Well, a person such as me around Toons. I presume you think that I'm real kind? To use such language.
Well, you kind of gave it all away in our first encounter, talking about why Toons would think that this, and he pulls back out the soggy disguise, would work.
There's a couple
Only a real
a couple of pieces of paper plap onto the floor.
Yeah. Only a real kind would question the legitimacy of this method.
There's a brief pause. Of course, I gave myself away with that. Ugh. And you hear something smacking something, and just go, ugh. I used to be so much better at this. I don't know what it is about. Oh, I don't think I've been away from Anquil a bit too long, I think. Ugh. Yes, I suppose that would be a bit of a giveaway, wouldn't it? Alright, fine, you've got me. I'm not a toon. Surprise! But,
You have the fakest of gasps.
oh, there's no need for dramatics. And you hear another tink, tink, tink from another glass in the room. And this person kind of stops and looks. Well, actually, you can't tell what they're doing. But you do hear I suppose I should be asking. What exactly I know I've already asked you, but what are you after? We only have so much time after all, and whilst we have been having a little chat, I've actually been, well, doing my job. And you hear another tink tink as they go around tapping on the glass.
I just. I was just looking for refreshment.
Refreshment. You can kind of hear the raised eyebrow in this. There are plenty of refreshments out in the hall. You have little canapes, you have those tasty little soda drinks, you have water, you have, oh, you've got salmon, you have fish, which I'm sure would taste your palate quite well. What sort of refreshments do you think you're going to find in here? Hmm?
You know exactly the kind.
Do I? Hmm.
You wouldn't be here for any other reason. You wouldn't be here assuming that there is nothing to be found.
Oh, I know there are things to be found in here. That's why I'm here in the first place. Um, and I'm gonna roll one of these. Damn. You hear the footsteps there and the clinking of the glass pacing around you kind of stop, and it stops before a covered case. That has it has light shining down on the top of it. But the case is covered by a red drape. Um, and you can see from the spotlight on the ceiling that is on. You can see the shadowed figure, the hooded figure, standing next to it, and just kind of looking down, not touching it, but kind of circling it a little. So they walk around and say, "Well, I may have a few ideas of what it is you're after, but if you help me get this, how about I help you get that? Unless, of course, you are perfectly competent enough to get it by yourself."
If I hadn't made myself clear previously, that's my mistake, but I am used to working alone. I don't need help.
Actually, I should probably make a whiz save before they do that, because I don't know if they would do that on the job. No, you hear the faintest of. Oh my goodness, you do sound. You know how many people you sound like that I know. Oh, I can do everything by myself. Oh, I'm so talented. Oh, I can do everything just fine. I don't need any help. Oh, please, everybody needs help. But I suppose you're one of those thieves that works alone then? I mean, I believe it's safe to assume you're a thief of some sort. Let's not mince words.
I would like to think of myself as an item retriever, but semantics.
A collector of sorts.
Regardless, I do have companions. I just still works on my own regardless with this kind of business. I don't. You talk about thieves working on their own, but as far as I'm aware, cooperation rarely works out in such a field.
There is a.
May hold for one evening, but hardly lasts once you're out.
Um, you get quite a. You get a little bit of a longer silence this time as the figure backlit by the light above just kind of pauses and stares down at this whatever the hell this thing is on the drape. And they seem to be considering something. They give you a slow nod. I can't say that I disagree with you, but our jobs are quite lonely ones on occasion. So how about just for tonight? We give each other a hand. Obviously, so long as you don't get in my way.
Oh boy, because in the, because of some of the specific words that were used,
Mm-hmm.
he is first he doesn't say anything and he just looks, but then he just behind the mask, you can tell that he just kind of relents, and he just like, for one evening, and he just walks up and holds up your hand, the hand to shake.
The hooded figure looks at the hand, looks back at Teal, reaches out and shakes. Like, pleasure
And
doing business for you for the evening, then.
as she shakes his hand, he will add, besides, I don't think I've ever been in your way even once. So, nothing to worry about here.
Let's hope it stays that way. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna roll. You can roll a dex save if you want to try and avoid this, but you're gonna see the hand quickly flash out. The tan leather glove reaching out and just about to reach and take that mask off your face.
Oh boy, yeah, dex save.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, this is one of the few things that he's supposed to be good at.
18.
There we go.
I'm just gonna try and. What would you say? Would I just roll the contesting dex for that? Do you think?
Yeah, I would say.
Let's do that.
Because it's not exactly sleight of hand.
Nope.
The bad luck has been transmitted through the hands.
This woman just whiffs, and you hear like a boom as this hand reaches past your face, and you just duck to the side, and she.
So much for collaboration.
Oh shush! I do want that back by the evening. It is mine. I would like that back by the end.
Is that so?
Yes. Now, I know there's not much honor amongst thieves, however, I like to think of myself as one of the slightly more honorable ones, which is to say, you don't steal from a thief unless it's for a very, very good reason.
Oh, but how very, very rude to take back a gift.
A gift? Just hear some spluttering from this person as they just kind of half turn around.
And he just like takes it off.
You take it off?
Yeah, he takes it off.
Gosh. You see the hooded figure glance at your face very quickly and then back down at your hand, and you see one of their hands twitches before they turn back away. They're not playing the bait. They're not reaching for that. They just, well, all right then, if you wouldn't mind. Do me a very quick favor. How good are you at magical risk assessment, or at least detecting traps?
I do have some arcane know-how.
How about you arcane know-how this then? Let's run you through your paces.
Oh, I see how it is. You think you're all high and mighty and so much better. Let me have a look.
It's not about being better, dear. It's more about experience. And this person backs away from the lighting. And you hear them kind of moving towards the door. And you hear as a light switch is flipped on. Congratulations, you can see now.
I mean, as she backs away, he wouldn't shout it so loudly that anyone outside the room would be, but he will like say it a bit more louder as like, yeah, the kind of like, hey, I heard that, but he just like, hey, so far I'm the one doing all the work.
You doing all the work. Who exactly is the reason that you're even in this place?
Oh, shush.
And the hooded figure, now in full relief, comes back up towards you. And yeah, there are many glass domes in here. When they turned on the main lights, the spotlights got shut off. So now everything is just visible. And you can roll another perception if you want.
Huzzah. I'm just. Then again, I'm. There we go. Teal doesn't like bright light. This has been established before. This remains true today.
I put a hand on your shoulder. I put a hand on your shoulder. Khajiit, seeing that Teal is squinting and looking around the room,
It's just like like again cats and how their eyes go wide in the dark and like going from this to slit eye in the fraction of a second and like the faintest of slits just like warning would have been nice.
You get 2 pats on your shoulder and you hear what seems to be a genuine apologies, I forgot about the dilation issues. Close your eyes or cover your eyes a little bit. Take your time to adjust.
Oh god. He will do just that.
Good. But yeah. After that, anyhow, with you, yeah, I'm just gonna give this to you. Let's get this moving along. Yeah, there are lots of glass cases around, with various things inside of them. Some of them are covered with sheets, some of them aren't. Some of the glass cases are empty. Perhaps they're being polished by or taken care of by servants or some such. And you can't see the thing that you're after in here. Maybe it's covered by one of the many draperies.
So which one exactly is it that you want me to inspect?
Just points a finger where you're standing next to.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
Well then. Let's get a look. And he will roll Arcana, which, because intelligence, he actually has a +3.
Come on, Arcana. Come on, Arcana. Hell yeah!
Dirty 20.
Well, you can tell there's nothing on the sheet, but you can see from the shape of it that there is probably another glass dome over it that's covering whatever's inside. And you can tell that's got an alarm on it for sure. But other than that, you with a 20, gosh, there are a few ways you could dispel this. You think it's probably like something really, really simple. Like you've seen this kind of weird alarm system before, and you have probably heard along the grapevine from certain other thieves or whatever you've studied. There's a weird technique that people use to get spiders out of their house. You imagine that it's lifting the actual dome that will trigger the alarm system. You imagine a thick enough or sturdy enough surface slid underneath the dome whilst keeping the item inside. Probably won't set it off. You've got a spider trap this thing.
Yeah, so he inspects and deduces all of those information from the cloth, and then he just straightens up, make sure that like the jacket and the tie are properly in place, turns back to the hooded figure. Yeah, I know how it works.
You get the hooded tilts to the side and you see them roll their hand. Go on.
Oh, you want me to explain how it works, right? Because your experience didn't teach you that. So it just so happens that the cloth does nothing, and he just like takes the cloth and throws it away without even looking at it.
I'm just gonna make another deck save quick. Because like how they're gonna let that just touch the floor? Yeah, no. You throw it away and then you hear a thump as it's caught, and the color of this cloth is like a deep, like all of the cloths around the room, they're like a deep red drapery. And you see this person catch it, and then just kind of roll it up and stick it underneath their cloak. You could have done without throwing things across the floor as evidence. But alright, it's good to know that these are not trapped at least. But are there any traps?
Well, yeah. The see this here glass dome actually has this very annoying thing where it will trigger. It has some warding magic embedded in it, which makes it so that annoying. So you can't actually lift it. Otherwise, you'll trigger the alarm if not dismissed properly by the intended user. And that's where he's going to give a look at what he's been standing next to, because again, when he flicked away the cloth, he just didn't look at it, but now he will like give a little glance at what he's actually standing next to.
Cool. You look down at what is underneath this cloth, and it looks like a cuff, like a solid. Not at first glance, it looks metal, but then you see a slight sheen to it, and you're like, oh, this is probably not. This is probably not metal, but you don't quite know what it is. It's weird and slightly shines weird in the light. Um, but it's like a big cuff. I don't know if I've got a picture of these things. I don't actually have a picture up. I should have prepared one of those.
He just gives. He just looks back at the figure. Is this really what you're after? Yeah, I would argue that the likes a bit of charm, but which they're wrong, I guess.
You hear a oh, trust me, it's got its own little charms. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean it's not there. You can hear the pleasure in this person's voice, definitely as they're staring down at this thing. Um, and they kind of look to you and say, "All right, so there is an alarm on it. Okay, how do we? How do I get this thing out of here?" You can see them just kind of tapping, looking around, and thinking, "I'm gonna check everything they hear."
While she thinks,
Mm-hmm.
Teal will actually do. Teal will actually, okay, first off, pull out of the ham space a piece of like rigid paper or whatever, which he does successfully pull. Huzzah. Um, and so he pulls it out and he starts to slowly slide it under the glass dome.
Hey, do me a favor and roll me a sleight of hand.
Oh boy. You know, like
This item
at this
isn't.
point, I'm start. That's the thing. Like at this point, I'm actually fearing the one where he has the highest rolls because that's the one where he has failed so far. Where he has the highest modifiers.
The highest modifier and the lowest of rolls. 11.
Fucking. What did I just say?
Hey, so Khajit is standing right next to you, and as you're putting the piece of paper under, you do get it under the glass, but this item is on like a little pedestal, and as you try to put it underneath the pedestal bit, it wobbles. And Khajit kind of reaches out and just grabs your shoulder very gently and says, "Careful, easy, does it?" And you get a little squeeze, and hey, guess what? You're getting a luck die. Roll again.
If I were a one. There we go.
There we go.
God.
22. You get that boost of confidence, and yeah, no, you very, very easily and swiftly just scoop that up underneath a piece of paper.
And he just hands it to Kajit. You know, that's how you do it.
She kind of carefully puts a hand underneath and then on the top of this glass dome and pulls it over, kind of inspects it, and you see the you see a nod of the hood, and they're like, "Well, that was rather well done. I wasn't expecting the paper method that's usually used for spiders, but I'll give you points for creativity. Let's put it that way.
I told you, you just don't have to lift it.
True enough, you've proven your point. And then they kind of look around the room and then back at you and say, "So I presume this wasn't what you were after?"
As I said, I am merely looking for a refreshment, and I think that I've earned it.
Well, refresh yourself away. And if you need my assistance, well, and they kind of look towards the door and then back around the room. I don't know when exactly the viewing is happening, but, well, we might want to hurry up a little bit.
Yeah, at this point, he just like goes around and starts looking under the cloth to see what he's looking after.
It's just a blue blur. It's like,
Yeah.
Gosh, should I? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna roll another deck save.
Oh boy.
16. So you hear some quiet swearing in a language you don't know. As this person kind of walks behind you, and you hear like a thump, 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 thump. And if Teal turns around, there's a very heavily layered stack of red velvet things covering the dome now. There's probably one on top of the head of this person as they you see the hood turn towards you. Well, you see the red cloak turn towards you and kind of give a bit of a glare. It's just, do you have to be so damn messy?
Oh, come on. I'll clean it up afterward.
You don't have time to clean up afterwards. Time's getting on. I thought you were all about being efficient. That's very important.
And he uses Mage Hand to take one of the cloth away from her head and back on the pile.
I'm gonna roll intelligence. Because you forget that this was you. Oh man, I need to change our intelligence.
And he'll just be like, I have my methods to be efficient.
She kind of stops at that, looks at where the mage hand was, and then slowly looks over at you and is like, I think you're going to be quite a bit of trouble, aren't you?
Well, now, why would you ever say this? This is most rude.
I don't know, Paperface. Why would I say this? And she follows along behind you.
Does Teal manage to find what he's...
Oh yeah, you definitely do. It takes... You probably only pull off, like, 4 of these things before you find the one you're looking for.
Yeah, and so the one that he's looking for under the glass dome is sitting a block of crystal that's sculpted in a vertical manner in different hexagonal like columns that are going up, kind of like a cliff made of hexagons. And at the very top rests a gemstone from around which water flows in a small pool at the bottom. And this is like an extremely fancy and decorative fountain made of crystal and precious gemstones.
There is a moment of silence, and you see the hood slowly turn from what seems to be inspecting this item towards Teal. And the figure replies, I didn't think you went for something quite so gaudy. You might want to keep the cover on that so it doesn't reflect off all the lights and drag all of our attention.
Oh, fine, if you want to do it. You don't want to put on a show.
No! I'm a thief! What
we'll
sort of thieves put on shows? Are you like one of those fancy thieves running around on the rooftops, making a monkey of themselves?
Well, something about feline utility, I would say, does help with that, actually. You would be surprised, but then again, maybe you know a thing or two about this.
I know a bit more than a thing or two about this, child.
He will first go up and then remember to be quiet, but he's like, I have it shut.
You're certainly acting like one, and most people are children compared to me. Now hurry up.
Okay, so he's just sleight of hand. Let's see, does he succeed or not?
Oh my.
Teal, for fucking God's sake.
I love this man. I love this man. The people
Again,
listening.
I told you I had plans for him when I made him. The dice decided against it.
Gosh, you know what?
He has a +9. He has a +9. And he
Teal.
rolled a 10, so everyone at home can do the math.
Yeah, no. Okay, with a 10,
No.
even if it's a nat 1, with a 10, you don't drop this. But you do make a
Right.
damn ton of noise taking this thing off the pedestal. And you haven't really noticed while you were busy doing this, but you suddenly are very aware of noises coming from outside of the room. And they suddenly stop for a second, and then you hear someone say, is somebody in there? Hey, is someone in there? Is it one of the servants? Maybe we should get the guards. No, it might just be the servants. And then you hear the doorknob rattle and say, it's locked. Is this supposed to be locked? And then you hear tittering noises and people muttering. And you just hear very quiet, shit. Alright, no,
Yeah.
we're going. Move your ass.
Yeah. In that fell swoop. Okay, I just want to see. I'm going to roll against my better judgment, I guess. I'm going to roll sleight of hand again just to see if he can do what he wants to do fast enough.
Mm-hmm. I look at your man.
He does.
What was he doing? Foster, that's another one.
2 ones in a row, gentlemen.
I
Are we
love
going to
him.
get a third one and fumble the hammer space? We don't fumble the hammer space, so that's already a win. But he just hastily throws a water bottle in the spot of where the the fountain was. He doesn't have time to
Oh,
make it stand up nice and pretty. It's just there on the list.
no, can I make a suggestion? You
Go
know
on.
that thing where people flip the water bottles and try to get them to land?
Yes.
He does that, and it just lands on its side, and it just slowly starts to roll off the side of the pedestal.
No. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no,
Oh, well.
God.
If I hadn't lost time explaining myself, I would have. He's just leaving now.
Stop trying to do fancy tricks and just do your job. Hurry up.
If I didn't have to look for it, how okay, essential for someone who hasn't proven any use.
Excuse me, proven any use without me, you wouldn't be in here. And you do hear a rattling noise, more rattling noises coming from the freaking coming from the freaking door.
Well, on
Hey.
that note,
Mhm.
yeah, if such is the case, good luck with you. And he just is going to cast Disguise Self and disguise himself as one of the servants, or at least someone with the same outfit.
Because she look at this and just say, "Why didn't you use that to get in before you?" And look around, wildly, and then she's just gonna, oh, fine. There's no windows, no exits. Fine, all right. Back
He
to the
puts
servants' quarters
the.
then.
Yeah, no, I just rolled a d10 to see he puts the fountain in his hammer space, and now he has both hands free.
Meanwhile, Khajit is carrying a thick piece of paper, a glass dome,
Yes.
and about 4 drapes on the top.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, no, they're just like, I can't believe I lent you my mask when you could have done this whole time. And they are heading towards the servants' entryway. And they're they haven't got hands free, so I need to roll a dex check to see if they can open this without using their hands. Gosh, you're supposed to be good at this. You see them kind of. This door is like a turn knob door, not the latch push down door. So you just see them trying to use their elbow to move it, and it's just wriggling in place. Do you know Elvish?
I don't think that Teal knows Elvish. Let me check, but I don't think he does.
Okay.
No.
Okay, you're just hearing some what you assume to be cuss words in another language. There's several enough veracity that it sounds like it. But yeah, you're hearing banging on the door now, saying, "Hello, is there anyone in there? Could you open the door? I don't think that's the servants. They usually open the door by now." And you hear like a tonk tonk tonk. You hear a tonk tonk coming from the doors. It's time to make a getaway.
Hmm. Hmm.
You all hear.
I'm going to say that you are lucky that Teal is lawful. Is all I'll say. Because he may have had a thought cross his mind. But also, he did say that he would help for the job, and he's like,
"Oh, Teal, buddy."
There is a reason why he disguised himself into a servant, is all I'll say. He just goes in front and opens the door and again comments on like, again, doing all the work.
Yes,
Careful
well,
about the
you're
pigeons.
very useful, thank you. Now,
Careful about the pigeons.
The minute you open the door a crack, you see this person kind of wriggle around you and slip out. And they kind of, they don't call, but they do whisper quietly, "I hope you have a planned escape route."
Let me just intelligence check that. I would assume that like Teal had an escape plan,
Yes.
but you know,
we have
a few things
that Teal has checked the plans. Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Natural 20.
Look,
hell yes.
Teal has had enough bad luck that he knows when shit goes down, he needs to get the fuck out of Dodge like that.
Yeah.
So
this happened way more time than he wants to admit.
Okay, yeah, no, Teal, you know exactly. You not only know how exactly is the best way for you to get out, you know the best way for this person to get out as well. There's like a door literally next to this door that has an open window that is not typically guarded very well.
Yeah, and especially with everyone banging on the door, he's like, "Hey, you, Khajit, whatever you really come. If everyone's on the other side of the door in the main showcase room, then we just go out over here." And he just drags them this time instead of him being dragged around, and he just dragged them through the door that's like right next and shows and right in front of the window and closes the door behind them.
Excellent. As you drag them in front of the window, you get just another glimpse of their face from beneath the hood as light streams through. Yeah, that orange and black you saw earlier, that's covering their whole face. And you see similarly slit pupils to yours. And huh. You think yeah, that I mean, you can roll perception if you want on this.
I almost rolled a d10, which, to be fair, would not make much of a difference given the track record, but still.
Oh, hell yes!
Now.
Oh, that's excellent.
A man of extremes.
So, Teal, you look at this person, and for all intents and purposes, this person looks like Tabaxi. Those markings are very distinctive to Tabaxi. The way they hold themselves is kind of distinct to a Tabaxi. The two bumps underneath the hood are distinct to a Tabaxi. But then you kind of squint and you look a bit closer, and despite the fact that it's very well done, the actual markings on their face They don't actually seem to, despite the fact that they're textured very well, it doesn't actually seem to be fur. It's very, very well done, but that looks like paint. It looks like some kind of disguise kit's been used here to make them look like a tabaxi. Whoever this person is, they're not a tabaxi.
He will comment. Well, I almost fell for it. And to think that I thought that you and I were more similar, it seems. Maybe not.
This person is looking at this window, and they've just gently plopped down the item on the floor whilst they're. I'm gonna sleight of hand the window. Open. Make no noise. Excellent. Soundlessly, the window is opened. They pick up their item. They look back at you and say, "Well, it was certainly some sort of. I'm not sure if pleasure is the correct word, but this was certainly a meeting.
Experience.
Yes, experience. That's certainly a word for this. This certainly encounter. However, I do hope, whoever you are, that you have a pleasant enough evening. I appreciate your assistance, and maybe next time you do this, don't use paper."
Okay, so with a 17, as she says, I don't know who you are, she gets smacked in the face with a business card.
Save. Oh, okay.
Oh.
She doesn't fall out of the window. Actually, you see the hood actually kind of flip back as this person opens their mouth and catches it in their teeth. And yeah, now the hood's back.
For good time's sake.
Yeah. They catch it in their teeth, and you see these eyes shoot you a glare. And they can't say anything. They've got paper in their mouth, but they kind of roll their eyes, jerk a head out the window. And just with their free hand, they tuck the dome under one hand, and with their free hand, they give you a little salute and pop their way out.
Okay, nice. Let me check. I guess I would do acrobatics to check if he can also get out the window.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Or...
That's a very good point. I should probably do that too.
21, yes.
Excellent.
Teal just like out the window, and then with a little, the landing where it's like both feet next to each other and arms straight out.
Yes, excellent pose.
Gymnastics kind of deal.
Oh yeah.
Straighten up against. Make sure that the jacket and the tie are straighten
hang
up.
on, let me just roll that again because I put that's a 2. That's wrong. This is a disadvantage because Khajit is still
they
carrying
have so
the
many
thing.
things. Yeah.
It's a 14. You see them get. They stumble as they land. They kind of have to crouch heavy down. You hear as they hit the ground, but they don't drop anything, and they book it. I don't know if you follow the way they're going, but they're booking it to the out of the grounds.
Oh no, Teal is not following them because again, like considering that he's still in the servant's outfit, he will actually go around the garden and close to the main gates, trying not to attract too much attention, so that someone wouldn't be too surprised to see like servants going around the property, but still it would be kind of off to see them that far out in like the garden and stuff. So he's like trying not to attract too much attention, even though he knows that he is relatively safe.
I just think it'd be funny if he just walks past the guard he met on the entrance, and they just walk past each other, and the guard gives a nod, Teal gives a nod, and the guard does a double take, like, what? Wait, hang on. But no, they changed outfit. That's not the same defense, person.
He was wearing the paper mask, so he never saw Teal's actual face.
Yeah, that's not a lion.
Let me check. That's not a lie. 12 stealth. Sure.
Well, people notice you, but that doesn't necessarily mean they think you're out of place.
like they see like, oh yeah, what are they doing? Like the party is the other way, but just like
You may on occasion
and
get
he
pulled
just
aside by some people asking you what's going
yeah.
on, but you make your excuses.
Mm-hmm.
And congratulations, you get away through the front gate with just a squint-eyed look from one guard in particular. But other than that, you're scot-free. Congratulations.
Ooh. Against all odds.
Against everything, despite everything, we made it out.
And Khajit, quote unquote, also made it out.
Oh yeah, Khajiit's got that freaking thing in her mouth. Well, she's long enough away. She's probably got to check that card.
Yeah, and it does. So the card has a T cut in half in the middle. So like there are like one half on one side and one half on the other. Actually, I should have like probably the card somewhere. But yes, and it does say on it, Teal Tiger Professional Item Retriever. What? Hold on, I even thought of like a goddamn quote, but now I can't remember it. Oh damn. But yeah, like it does say like yeah, he actually has it like written on the goddamn card.
She's probably looking this thing over, like flicking it backwards and forwards. She's sitting in an alleyway, wiping her face with like a cloth of some sort. And as she pulls off the orange and black paint on her face, you see like coppery skin coming up underneath, and she's just, what is it with toons and announcing their intentions? Why are all these thieves like this? First fantastical phantom thieves, and now this. I think some people need re-education on how to actually do the job properly. And she pick the bones, tucks that card away, gives a little huff, and makes her way to a particular place in Phillipstown to hide her wonderful goods and perhaps make some future plans. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any other bits with Teal you wanted to do.
No, there isn't really anything specific because at this point he just like again leaves through the front gate and he will go to the closest. He will, of course, once he's out, shed the disguise because that wouldn't look right. But he just mosey on to the nearest teleportation circle.
Excellent. If that's the case, then I think we could probably end it there because we went on longer than I thought we would. Honestly, I thought this would just be an hour. But thank you for sticking with me, Foster.
Yeah, thank you too.
This was fun. Man, I might need to pinch you for a follow-up if you were down for it. But
oh, absolutely.
This was so good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's listening, thank you for listening to this. We hope you had fun with all these awful rolls and all these not so awful rolls.
God, yeah.
Yeah. Next time you tune in, who knows what the hell's going to happen, but it's going to be fun because I want to play with Foster, who is very good and cool.
Thank you. You were also very good and cool.
Slander, how dare you? Anyhow, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. This is where I'm going to end my recording. Farewell, and see you later.